She was already there when I pulled up, arms crossed, clipboard in hand. Standing right on the gravel driveway like she owned the whole damn state. "This property's been sold," she snapped before I could even cut the engine. I stared at her through the windshield. This was my land. Grandpa left it to me in his will 2 months ago. I hadn't even unpacked my truck yet. I stepped out slowly, keeping my voice calm. "You're mistaken. I inherited this ranch. The deed's in my glove box." She laughed. Actually laughed. "You're not HOA approved," she said. "You filed for annexation. It's under HOA. Control now, and we already processed the sale." "What sale?" I blinked. "To a very respectful couple. Not squatters," she said, eyeballing my boots. I took one step toward the porch. She blew a whistle, like I was a damn dog. "Step back. You're trespassing now. I've already called 911. I froze. Not because I was scared, but because of how casual she looked, dialing the cops like it was routine. This wasn't the first time she'd done this, ma'am. I took a deep breath. "You don't have the right. I have the paperwork," she interrupted. "Don't. You can't just show up and claim land without going through us. You're lucky I'm not pressing charges already." I was quiet for a second. Let her feel in control. Then I said it flat. "You filed a fake sale on land you don't own. 2 people who don't live here. And now you're calling the cops on the owner." Her face twitched. Just a little, but she held her phone up like some kind of badge. "Police will sort it out," she said. "And when they get here, you'll be in cuffs for trespassing." I didn't answer. Need to, because what she didn't know is that I used to train half the local PD. The squad car rolled up faster than I expected. Lights off, no siren, just quiet tires on old dirt. Karenya, that's what I was calling her now, stood straighter, all puffed up like she'd won. "There he is," she shouted, pointing at me like I was a wild animal. "He tried to break into the house. I want him removed immediately." The officer stepped out slowly, not the young guys I remembered. This one was new, face unreadable. No nod of recognition. That was fine. I kept quiet. Kieran marched over. To him, waving that clipboard like it was gospel. "He has no rights to the property. HOA voted. We annexed this land last quarter and processed a sale. This man is a threat." The officer glanced at her, then at me. "Sir, ID please." I handed him the license. Then I opened the glove box and pulled out the original deed. "Name matches," I said calmly. "Counted it in April County. Records confirm it." "She's got nothing." Karen's face twitched again. "That paper isn't valid anymore," she snapped. "This land is under HOA jurisdiction." "Since when?" the officer asked. "Since last month. Away mailed the notices." I shook my head. "No notice was ever delivered. No vote was ever approved by county zoning. Can't annex private land like this without state approval." The officer stepped back. "You say you're the legal owner. She claims it's sold. I'll need 2. Call dispatch to verify." Karen jumped in. "There's no need. Just remove him. I'm the acting president of our HOA. I can sign off on it." "Ma'am," the officer said slowly, "if he's the legal owner, and you've processed a sale without his consent, that's fraud." Her face dropped for the first time. Just a flicker. I stayed silent. I could feel it, things were turning. Then her phone buzzed. She looked at the screen and went pale. She turned away, whispered something fast. And then, loud enough for everyone to hear, she said, "You weren't supposed to be here this early." The officer narrowed his eyes. I stepped forward, voice calm. "Who exactly was supposed to meet you here today, Karen?" She didn't answer. But I already knew. Someone had paid her. Someone thought they could buy my land without ever meeting the man who owned it. Karen started pacing now, muttering things under her breath, trying to stay in control of the moment. The officer walked a few steps away and called something in. I didn't hear it all, but I caught the words deed, sale fraud, and deed. Dispatch needs zoning records. It's when a black SUV pulled up. It wasn't a police vehicle. It wasn't county. It was tinted, silent, and way too clean for this dusty road. 2 men stepped out, suits, sunglasses, and tight expressions. One of them carried a thick folder. The other scanned the area like he was expecting trouble. Karen's spine straightened. That's them, she whispered, like she'd just been rescued. HOA legal team. I raised an eyebrow. HOA legal team. On a Sunday morning, the guy with the folder approached me directly. Didn't even look at the cop. We're here to finalize the transition of ownership. I understand there's been a misunderstanding, but you need to vacate the property immediately. The officer stepped in. Hold on, this isn't your call. We're still confirming legal ownership. The man cut him off, cool and confident. We have the signed documents right here. HOA processed the sale legally. We have jurisdiction. I spoke up. What county judge signed off on this annexation? The man didn't blink. It was a private acquisition. HOA bylaws allow for emergency sales if a property is unoccupied and structurally declining. It's all within the HOA's expansion. Right. I laughed. I couldn't help it. This isn't a garage. It's a 100-acre ranch. You can't declare it declining and sell it off. And HOA bylaws don't override state property law. Karen's voice rose behind me. He abandoned the land. Nobody's lived here in years. My grandfather died 2 months ago, I snapped. And I've been here every weekend, getting it ready to move in. The cop looked back and forth between us, then at the folder. Can I see that paperwork? The man hesitated, then handed it over. The cop flipped through it slowly. His eyebrows tightened. Then he looked up at the suited man. Why is the owner's name whited out on the transfer deed? Silence. The man shifted slightly. Karen took a step back. I walked up slowly and held out a small USB drive. Would you like to see the trail of emails between Karen and your buyers? I started contacting her the day after my grandfather's obituary was posted. Offering cash, no inspections, no county filings. Karen gasped. You hacked my emails. I turned slowly. He forwarded everything to me. My grandfather knew someone would come for this land. He just didn't know how soon. Karen's face dropped like someone pulled the floor out from under her. The suited men? Dead silent now. The officer plugged the USB into his cruiser's onboard system without a word. I watched them all, calm on the outside. Could feel it boiling. She thought she could steal my family's land. With paper tricks and polished lies, the screen lit up inside the cruiser. I knew what he'd find. Email subject. He's old. He won't fight it. Now wants the kid. Inherits? We can pressure a sale before he even moves in. Karen's reply. Already working on the notice. I'll make him look like a trespasser. The officer stepped out slowly now, expression like stone. Ma'am, he said flatly. You didn't just impersonate a housing authority. I conspired to sell private land with forged documents and misrepresented legal standing. You understand what that means? Karen stuttered. I didn't forge anything. They told me it was legal. Which part? I interrupted. Selling land you don't own? Or faking a transfer by pretending my family abandoned it? She backed up a step, then another. The guy with the folder suddenly seemed very interested in his shoes. The officer radioed in again. I need an investigator and a zoning rep at this location. Fraud suspected. Attempted illegal property seizure. That's when Karen lost it. She threw her clipboard, screaming. You're all just letting criminals like him walk in and take whatever they want. Him, I repeated quietly. She froze. The cop stepped between us. That's enough. But it was too late. Her words said the quiet part loud enough for the body cam to catch it. Loud enough to reveal what this really was. Not just greed, not just power. It was personal, and she just exposed the motive behind it all. I turned back to the SUV guys, who were already walking to their car. Don't think you're walking away, I called out. This was your plan too. She just executed it. Driver paused, glanced back. You can't prove we paid her, smiled. Maybe not, but I don't have to. Because I wasn't the only one my grandfather warned.